everyone, this is Annie Kashamura Zawadi again, continuing our series on violence against women and girls as it relates to the incident between Mr. Koffi Olomide and Miss Pamela. So today we will look at how we contribute as individuals and as a collective to violence against women around us. So like we said in the first video, we were really pleased and happy to see that we have moved forward in acknowledging that violence against women is wrong. It's very wrong. Almost all of us condemned it. At the same time, looking closely at those videos, one can see that after Mr. Koffi Olomide did his first attack on Miss Pamela, what did happen? People just he continued to advance toward her for a second attack. And people just cleared the way for him to go. Some people removed their luggage. Some people were just saying, okay, the way is clear, go ahead and do what you need to do. And we didn't see anyone going to Pamela to protect her or even to ask if she was okay after that first attack. So that by itself really says a lot about us as people and as a collective. I think what it says is that most of the time we tend to, how can I say this? We tend to protect the aggressor. We do not protect the victim. We tend to protect the aggressor and to facilitate their job, actually. That's what happened in Kenya, if you look at those videos. And most of the time, we also tend to blame the victim. In this case, in some of the videos, people were shocked totally and were asking why is that Mr. Koffi was arrested, even though people didn't question the behavior of Miss Pamela. No one did ask what she actually did to push Mr. Koffi to beat her. Seriously. That's not good thinking. That is not good thinking. We need to move away from that type of thinking, because when we do that, then we start justifying violence against women, and when we justify it, we tolerate it, and we just normalize it, and it continues. As long as we continue to justify violence against women and girls, it will be there forever. So when I heard people saying, well, you know, if Koffi reacted that way, Pamela must have done something terrible. This really brought me back 15 years ago. In my own life, I was fleeing a violent act from my home. That was in Kinshasa, and I went. So from home, I arrived at the Macampagna gas station, and I saw three men in uniforms, and I was so happy. Okay, I am saved. I will go and ask for help to these military people and ask them to find a taxi for me, because I was really in bad shape. But when I arrived there, only one of them was compassionate. The other two were not compassionate at all. In fact, they told me not to stay there. They said I should leave immediately and they will not help me, because if my husband did put me in that shape, I must have done something terribly wrong. That was 15 years ago. And people are still thinking the same today, 15 years after. So I think on that level, we still have a lot of work to do. We just have to move away from that thinking. We need to protect victims and not the aggressors. And also, for the victim, I just have a little advice for victims of violence against women. Don't tend to protect your abuser, because if you do, a few things will happen to you. First of all, you will lose all credibility in front of people. Second, you will lose all credibility in front of the law. And third, you will increase the ability and the power of your aggressor to multiply and to intensify violent acts on you in the future. That's what will happen. I understand you are in a very vulnerable situation, but when these things are happening to you, I just step back and say, well, this is about me protecting myself and not protecting someone who is hurting me. Speaking of hurt, in other videos, I also heard some of the comments like, okay, we don't understand what is going on with all this violence against women thing. We know that violence, sometimes beatings are just signs of love. No. Violence will never be a sign of love. This is my advice to everyone listening, men and women. When it does hurt, it's not love. Okay, I'll say it again. When it does hurt, it's not love at all. So those are my few advice on and insight on how us as individuals and as collective we tend to contribute to violence against women around us. So first of all, we need, again, going back to that same consensus, violence against women is not justified, cannot be tolerated, cannot be negotiable, and cannot be acceptable. Second, we need to stop blaming the victim and searching what they did, because nothing can justify violence, period. We just have to go back to using dialogue. Dialogue is more productive. We cannot continue to use force. We better sit and solve our conflict through dialogue and not using force and hands. And next, we just, for the victims, we need, to stop protecting the abusers, because that will come against us. It will increase violence in our own lives. So thank you again. This was the video for today. Stay tuned for the next video where we will discuss now how the officials are contributing to violence against women in the case of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Thank you, and I will see you soon.